He was discovered by the sheriff in possession of a large sum of money and thrown into prison. But the cash was reward money, given him by the Lone Ranger. When the masked man learned what had happened, he rode to his camp, where he met Tonto.
So after I left Burke's home, Tonto, I inquired around the town and learned all about this sneak thief.
Who, him?
I don't know who the real thief is, Tonto, but I do know it isn't Wally Burke.
You with him last night?
Yes, we were together at the time this prowler went to the home of those two old men. But you and I are the only ones who know that Burke is innocent.
Lawmen not believe you.
No, they have Burke in jail. The curious thing is, his boots do fit the print on Lem's front porch. The thief stole much less from those two than Burke got as his reward. The sheriff naturally supposed that other stolen money was with Lem's and Jake's.
We get Burke free, huh?
We're going to get him free, Kimosabe, but I don't know just how we'll do it.
You sure boot fit print on porch?
The sheriff said it did.
Maybe him wrong.
He might be, but it's hardly likely. However, we'll make sure for ourselves that the print is still there.
Footprint still there?
The sheriff has it covered to make sure the flour doesn't blow away. He plans to use it as evidence at Burke's trial.
What law do to Burke?
As nearly as I can find out, they plan to hang him.
Him not killer?
I know it.
Him not horse thief?
The man who stole Lem's money wounded him. The sheriff claims that the shot was fired with the intention of killing. On the strength of that, they'll try to hang poor Wally Burke.
Him our friend.
We came all the way from Pecos to give him the reward he earned. We're going to do our best to give him the freedom to enjoy that money. Tonto, you stay in town and learn everything you can. Find out all there is to know about the sneak thief. Meanwhile, I'll learn what I can in another way. We'll meet here in 2 days' time and compare notes.
Tonto go to town. No.
And I'm going back to Mary Burke's place. I want to hear more about her husband. Come on, Silver.
Come up, white fella.
The sheriff locked Burke in the jail, then made his way to another cell, where Simon Boswell was imprisoned for cattle stealing. The sheriff, not wishing to be overheard, spoke to Boswell in guarded tones.
It's worked slick as silk, Boswell.
Burke's sure to be convicted, ain't he?
Never was anything more sure.
Good.
It's a good thing I was told about that flower on Lem's front porch. It'd give us the chance to leave them footprints there.
Yeah. Prince of the biggest man in the town.
When I saw Wally sneak out of the house last night, I went in and got his boots. His missus was asleep. Say, them boots must have come all the way to your hips when you wore them, didn't they?
Well, they were darned inconvenient, but I managed them all right enough. I even walked a little ways from the house to my horse, so as to leave prints on the ground as well as on the porch.
Good. Now, there's one thing that's got me a little worried, Simon.
What's that?
Lem and Jake seen you when you fired, didn't they?
They seen someone was in the room, that's all.
Did they see how undersized you was?
I don't think so. It was dark.
I reckon if they had, they'd have said something about it.
I'm sure they would have.
I never figured on us getting all the luck we had.
What's that?
Burke was given some reward money the same night.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
It worked out perfect. I'd figured he'd be catched with no cash, and we'd have to make folks think he hid the money. But he had the cash right with him.
Too bad we can't get that, too.
It's gone to Lem and Jake.
Yeah.
Maybe if Wally could escape, you could slip out another night and go to Lem's place again. Folks would think Burke went there and stole the cash before he made his getaway.
That might be worth a try.
By thunder, it could be done, Simon.
Suppose it could.
I can tell Wally that he's due to hang. I'll fix up a story and see how he takes it. I'll let you know by and by. I'll talk to him right now.
All right, do that.
Sheriff, I tell you ain't giving me a fair chance.
I want to speak to you, Burke.
You talk with Boswell in the cell on the other side, but you won't come near to me.
I'm here now, Burke.
Listen, won't you just try and find that masked man? He'd tell you the truth.
Oh, your story's too thin, Wally. No jury'd believe it.
Well, go to Pecos.
Too far.
But drat it, I'm innocent.
Listen, Burke, will you listen a minute?
Well?
You're in a bad way. Maybe you don't realize what's ahead for you.
Oh, I know. Jail for about 5 years.
No, worse.
You wouldn't keep me here no more than that. No jury would give me more.
You won't stay in jail long, Wally. You shot Lem.
I did not.
The facts say you're the one that was there, and the one that was there shot him. Attempting a murder is the same as murder, as far as punishment's concerned. You savvy?
No.
You're slated to hang, Wally.
What? But I'm innocent.
Now, hold on. I don't believe your intention was to kill. That's where I'm different from the jury that'll try you. I don't want to see you hang.
I don't want to hang.
There ain't but one way for you to avoid it.
That's to make your getaway from the jail.
How?
Don't talk so loud.
How can I get away?
I'll help you to. Late this afternoon, when folks ain't around, I'll let you out. You get heading for the North Country and keep moving. I'll have a horse for you.
Well, then I'll be an outlaw.
Take your choice. A living outlaw or a new grave in Boot Hill.
I won't be able to see Mary no more.
Reckon she don't care much about seeing you, Wally.
No, I reckon she don't. I'm just born to hard luck. It'd be bad enough if I was guilty, but being innocent, being on the verge of having things that cash would buy, then to see it all gone? Sheriff, I may as well head for the Badlands.
Late that afternoon, the Lone Ranger and Wally Burke's wife closely examined the ground near the shack for further evidence. Caldwell and Purdy, unable to understand what they were searching for, watched with open curiosity.
What the same hell they doing anyways?
I don't know, Lamb. They're coming to the house now.
May as well open the door and let him in. I'm sorry for Mary Burke.
Yeah, so am I.
Hi there, Mary. What you doing?
I wanted to have a look at the print on your front porch, Slim, if you don't mind.
Them Wally's boots?
Yes.
I'm too polite to inquire about the masked man. Seems you might show better judgment, though, Mary.
What do you mean, Jake?
Well, being as your husband's in jail, it ain't wise for you to associate with his outlaw friends.
I'm not an outlaw. Now take the cover off that footprint. I want to see it.
Gosh, you talk like you was used to giving orders, stranger.
Let me see the print that sent Burke to jail.
Lift the box up, Lem.
Yeah. There.
The boot fits it all right, mister.
Yes, but that doesn't prove that Wally Burke wore this boot.
Huh?
Unfortunately for the real criminal, he walked in the dirt here far enough for his stride to show.
What do you mean?
I don't savvy.
Burke is about the same height as I am. Look how I'd have to walk to match this stride.
Jumping juniper.
Jake, you see that?
Do I see it? Am I blind?
Them short steps. Burke never could walk like that, let alone run for his horse to make a getaway.
I know Burke isn't guilty because I'm the man who brought the money to him.
The money?
The money he said was given him by a masked man. The money you claimed is your own.
But me and Jake, we was robbed.
Yes, and the thief still has what he took from you. Who is the smallest man in town?
Gosh, they don't grow small around here, stranger.
There's that cattle thief. Oh, but no, it couldn't be Simon Boswell.
Why?
He's already in jail.
He is? I want to see him. Who knew about the flour you spilled here?
Why'd you want to know that?
Because the thief made it a point to step in it. Who knew it was here?
No one but me and Lem.
The sheriff, Jake. I told the sheriff.
Look, there's Wally riding away.
Your husband.
You sure of that, Mary?
Yes, I'd know his style of riding. That's him heading north from town.
Here, Silver.
Where's he going?
He must have got loose from the jail.
He's escaping.
I'm going after him. We're going to learn things now. Hello, Silver!
The Lone Ranger overtook Wally Burke, and together the two men rode out of sight. That night the jail was lighted only by the moon shining through the barred windows. The sheriff went silently to Simon Boswell's cell and unlocked the door.
Move quiet till you're out of town, Boswell.
Is everything all right?
Sure, as long as you keep quiet. Careful not to leave no tracks tonight. I couldn't get them boots for you to wear again.
Where are they?
I don't know. I went to the house for 'em, but Mary wasn't home, and the boots was missing.
I wonder where she put them.
Never mind them. Get going now, and be sure you're back here so I can lock you up again before morning.
I'll be back, all right.
By the time you've finished your term in jail, we'll both be sitting pretty.
We're sitting pretty already. I'll get going now.
Maybe when I've got all I can out of him, he'll have an accident. Too bad for Wally Burke. But he should learn to take care of himself like I do.
You stand still.
What the?
No. Go back.
Hey, what's the meaning of this?
You find out by and by.
Put down that gun. I'll have you hung for this. You're sticking up the law.
That's right. You bad law.
You cussed redskin. What do you expect to get out of this?
You see. Now me take gun.
No, you don't.
Take gun. Me got gun. Now you go in jail.
Now, hold on. Listen, you can't do this.
Hey, don't. Lock you in jail.
Wait. Listen, Injun. I'll make a deal with you. I'll pay you cash money. There's things you don't savvy. It's worth a lot to me to get out of here. I'll pay you more than you ever seen before. Let me make a deal.
Tonto disappeared and left the sheriff in the cell recently occupied by Simon Boswell. The sheriff, raging, shook the bars of his cell and called for help, but received no reply. The hours went by slowly, until finally, at daybreak, Boswell returned and found the exhausted lawman locked in the jail.
Great gosh, what's this mean?
Let me out! Let me out! Before someone comes and sees me in here.
How'd you get in there? Where's the key?
I don't know where the key is. The engine's got it.
Did you get the cash?
Sure, it's right here in this package. Them two didn't even wake up this time.
Who says so?
Lem!
We was awake, you rat.
We was awake all the time, keeping quiet.
Now maybe the truth will come out.
Burke! You back?
We all here. It's a frame-up. It's a frame-up. You can't do more than jail me.
That, Boswell, is for a jury to decide. The sheriff said the man who shot Lem will have to hang.
No. I'll tell you everything if I don't hang. I'll tell you where the money's hid.
That's the thing we want to know.
Injun, you got the key for that there cell?
Me got.
Then open the door and let Simon Boswell in along with the sheriff.
There's the masked man that give me the reward money. Maybe now you'll believe me, Sheriff.
It don't matter if he believes you, Wally. I do.
Mary. Oh, gosh, Mary. Maybe at last our luck has changed.
Listen here. I'll make a deal with all of you.
The door, Tonto.
There. Door open.
In with you, Boswell. I reckon when the United States Marshal takes charge, he'll be downright pleased to have all the true facts of the robberies in these parts. And the sneaking lawman that let a prisoner out in jail to rob folks.
Mister, you fetched me that reward money. I tried in Pecos to get you to take it. I'm offering it again right here now. Hey, wait a minute, mister. I'm talking to you.
Come on there, Silver, old fellow. There's trouble in San Carlo. Tonto's there waiting. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger, Incorporated.
Check, check. Testing 1, 2, fuck it. Good morning. Joey, where are you? I miss you, Joey. Come on, Joey. All these old people keep stopping by here. I keep talking to people my age. I need some youngsters. I need youth. I need some youth. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung. No, really. Oh, that's so good. It's orgasmic, man. Totally. Totally orgasmic. Totally. It's totally. It's Old Time Radio Wednesday, people. Old Time Radio. This morning we listened to the Lone Ranger, which is appropriate because later we're going to listen to the Green Hornet, which is his great nephew. I think, the Green Hornet. There you go, baby. Dan Reed, the Lone Ranger, and Britt Reed, the Green Hornet. Couple of reads. Things are getting tough. Things are getting tough. It is July 16th. We are officially halfway through July now. Yeah. I gotta put together a reunion promo that says, yes, it's still on. Whoever's gonna show up. Nobody's actually gonna say they're coming, so I couldn't plan for anything. I would have loved to have planned for a lot of people and a big thing, an event, and have people send in money for shirts, but that didn't work. I was the wrong guy for the job. In order to raise money from friends, to get friends together for a party for friends, you first have to have friends, and I don't. So I've got a lot of people who wanted to go to the party to see each other, and that may still happen, but nobody's telling me a damn thing, so I really can't plan and I can plan for me, because I know I'm going to be there. I can plan for Gary and a couple of other people, but that's it. So I'm not going to go out of my way to plan for something where people are going to be like, well, I might go. There you go. So I might go. How's that? I might go. I might not go. I don't know. I just don't freaking know. The way the social political climate is right now. I don't even like to go to the store. Literally. I mean, you see somebody who's just fucking it up, you know. And what do you do? What do you say? How do you react? Call them an idiot? Smack the hat off of their head? You know? Piss on their fucking leg? I don't know what to do with them, you know. You can't talk to people anymore because they just get an attitude and want to fucking fight. That's it. What do you mean I can't think like this? What do you mean I can't be an asshole? Fuck you, let's fight. Okay. Yeah, you just want to carry an equalizer around and just go, you're done. You're done. You're done. Right? There's so many people on the planet now. The good people keep getting killed. The innocent, good people keep getting killed. Dying. And we wind up with more and more assholes. Just a greater percentage of assholes on the fucking planet. The good die young, I guess. So yeah, Old Time Radio Wednesday. We listened to a little bit of The Lone Ranger this morning. At some point, probably around 6, we'll put on the Green Hornet. And we'll check that out. There you go. There you have it. There it is. This whole thing in the country and the world, and it's just got me down. It's just got me down. I didn't get around to talking about my box of Civil War tapes here yesterday. I got wrapped up talking with Susie and just lost all track of time and what I was going to do. That happens. If anybody's watching and they're like, hey dude, why isn't he doing the thing that he said? Then get me back on track, right? If you're watching my show and I haven't done what I'm supposed to be doing, let me know. Hey man, you forgot stuff. You were going to talk about stuff and you didn't talk about it. So I've got this great set of Civil War PBS documentary tapes, and it's got the whole series on cassette here, from 1861 to 1865. 1861, 1862, 1862, 1863, 1863, 1864, 1864, 1865, 1865. There's a lot of information in there, you know. Does anybody remember when the internet was first kind of bopping around and mostly what you could get was stuff on CD-ROM? CD-ROM was really big before the internet became like wabba-bangy. More people could get CD-ROMs than they could get on the internet. And I remember having a CD-ROM version of the Encyclopedia Britannica. And I thought it was really neat, but the fact that all of that information was packed down into the disc, so it was limited to only what they could fit on the discs, right? Now, and then from there it went to disc assisted by the internet. So you'd get on your disc and you'd punch on your disc and you'd look up something on your disc and it would say, okay, now click on this and we'll take you to a link, and then we'll look at this and we'll look at that, and it would take you to the internet site for the Encyclopedia Britannica, and then it would have just tons more information. Well, now you could just go right to the site. You don't need the disc, you don't need all the hoopla. You don't even need an encyclopedia anymore. You don't need encyclopedia. You can just Google something, and Google will search all of the resources for you, which is pretty frickin' phenomenal. So encyclopedias have given way to the internet in all its fantastic glory. Well, since nobody's here this morning, I don't feel bad at all about just sitting here doing bong hits all morning. I'm not on rations anymore, although I am trying to cut back. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm not it's Wednesday, but I'm not sure if my wife is going out today or tomorrow morning to go over to a friend's house. So sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes not at all. I didn't get shit for sleep last night. I would like to blame it on a long nap, but I didn't even get a long nap. I maybe dozed out for 30 minutes yesterday after I had breakfast and before I went to pick up my wife. And then after I picked her up, we went and cleaned the house, came back, I had some lunch, and really, really wanted to lay down. But by then it was like 2, 3, 4 o'clock. It was like, fuck it. If I lay down now, I'll be up in the middle of the night. And lo and behold, I was up in the middle of the night anyway. Yeah. I could not get back to sleep after about 2. It took me forever to get to sleep. Once I finally got to sleep, I got up and took a leak at 2, and then just could not get back to sleep. You know, when you kind of wake up in the middle of the night, you feel like, oh man, do I gotta go to the bathroom? And then you don't. And I just laid there. I just laid there and laid there. And then eventually the alarm went off, and I anticipated it, so I'm like reaching over, it's going off, slap, snoozed it. Snoozed a couple of times, just started to get to sleep on that first snooze, and then was awakened. And then I couldn't get back to sleep on the second snooze because my dog was up milling around. So I finally made it here this morning. I was really late because I booted up my online broadcasting system software, and my CPU usage, which should be around 5 to 15% of my CPU being used. It was like 80, 75, 80, and I'm like, no. That means that everything is going to glitch and freeze, and I'm going to drop frames. So I had to turn everything off, do the maintenance, and then reinstall the program. And my daughter's like, why do you have to do that all the time? And I said, it's just because I use it so much, it gets stuff packed up in its memory, and then it slows it down. And then it's wading through all of this excess stuff from the last broadcasts. So I have to dump everything and start fresh. And even though I'm still using about almost 15% CPU, and after having dumped it and reset everything, usually it goes down to about 4 or 5. So something's going on. Something's going on in here. Alright, I got another bong hit I'm going to do because I have really reconnected with my pain this morning because I've been up for so long this morning. So here I go. I'm just going to try to get hammered in the next couple of hours and then try to go lay back down. That's the best I can do. If my wife is going to take off, then I'll drop her off, come back, lay down for a couple of hours, get up and go back and get her. I don't think we have anything going on today that requires me to actually physically be active, right? I think this is it. This is the most of my activity today. I would like to, however, go through and organize my records. I've got a few hundred several hundred LPs in my room here, and they're out of skew. I got half the alphabet over on this side of the room, half of the alphabet on this side of the room. It's like I need to consolidate it all and alphabetize it all. Give myself more cubbies to alphabetize my stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull all the records out and put them all back in alphabetically. I'm going to go from 8 cubbies, A to Z, to 10 cubbies, A to Z, so I'll have more room in each cubby for extra records and to kind of move them around. Right now they're all packed in pretty tight, and I need to have them kind of in so they can be flopped around. Right? Right? Oh my God! What did I not do? I totally didn't do the thing this morning. Where is it? There it is. Boink, boink. Boink, boink. Boink, boink. Hey, peace and love, man. Peace and love. That's what it's all about, man. Peace and love. If we had more of that on the planet, man, we'd have a better planet. Right? It all starts with your head and your heart, man. Use your intelligence, all right? And if you're using your heart, your intelligence will tell you that bad is bad and good is good, right? Right now we got a lot of people who are thinking bad is good, man. Bad is where it's at. And I just, yeah. That's where I fall out of like with society, because most of the society can be programmed so easy. Get them all riled up, push them in one direction. And now the protesting is illegal. Why? Because you got assholes sent in there to screw it up. Pretty soon we're going to have martial law. We are going to have martial law. Yep. How's things over there in Colorado? Because that's where I'm thinking about moving. Someplace a little more laid back. A little mellower. A little more country. Because here is where we're headed. We're headed to a civil war. Not that society would even bother. In another country, civil war, you'd get fucking people in the streets. Everybody would be there, right? All hands on deck. In the United States, I think most of the people involved are just going to be sitting on the sidelines, looking at videos on their phones, recording videos, while a bunch of the vigilantes fuck things up for the rest of us. You know, if you're at a protest and you see somebody throw a rock, hold him down and turn him over to the cops. This is the guy that threw the rock at you, sir. Right? You're not a fucking fink. You're keeping the protest alive by getting rid of the fucking assholes. Period. You see somebody throw a bottle? Take a picture of him. Turn that picture over to the fucking police. All of that bullshit that happened is exactly why they're not allowed to protest anymore. You know, peaceful protests is where it's at. You start picking shit up and throwing it and burning cars, and you're just an idiot. You're just a fucking idiot. You know? You do exactly what they want you to do. Behave exactly the way they want you to behave. What are you, dumb? Yeah, we're a whole fucking society of idiots programmed by our phones. Of course we're dumb. Ugh. Where's my irregulars? I need some irregulars here so I can get some help to vent. When you've spent time living with hippies in the counterculture and going to Grateful Dead shows and nude beaches and you know, living that peaceful lifestyle, you see what's going on around you and you're like, why? Why are they doing this? This does not look good. This is not, you know, This is not the way it's supposed to be done. Sometimes I think we're just too far gone, right? I just don't know. Is Joey there yet? I need Joey. I need some Joey, man. I need some youth, and I need some yeah. That's what I need. Well, I know somebody's there. Let's see. And you know what? I'm gonna just keep doing bong hits. That's what I'm gonna do. In fact, I'm gonna do bong hits all the way through to the reunion. I'm just gonna keep doing bong hits. That's it. And trying not to see what's going on, right? I mean, if it shows up at the reunion, yeah, I don't know, tackle him, call the police, say, this is the guy. I don't know. If people want to show up and reunite, that's fine. If people want to show up in political garb and, you know, flags blazing and all of that, screaming their rhetoric, you know, then they're going to have to be politely excused. You know, why don't you take your shit and go start a fuckhead party over there? That's it. And, you know, I'll call the fucking Hells Angels to come back us up and be security for this if we have to. If that's what it is, you know. I'll get the, you know, the side of the gang that's, like, okay with, you know, with people of every fucking color. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. You know, it's those people who spend half of their lives hating somebody of another color, right? And then for some reason they see the error of their ways, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, they're my brothers and sisters, right? It's like, finally got a clue, huh? How long does it need to take for people to go from being a full-blown fucking racist to not? Hey, let's party, baby. Oh, hardy, dude. I am gonna party hardy today. It's hump day, man. There goes my sound. What the hell is up with that? Why does it do that? I don't know why. Maybe it's the microphone. Maybe it's the mixer. But crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's what they call me. In junior high, they started calling me Charles Manson. They didn't even know me. Kids who did not know me would call me Charles Manson. I took it as a compliment because they actually noticed me. I was noticed. Sure, they called me Charles Manson in junior high. I knew who Charles Manson was probably more than they did, right? I thought it was a little weird. I shook it off. And it was like, well, obviously they don't know me, and that's why they're going to call me that, right? But, yeah, if they were going to call me that, I was going to live up to that, and I would get crazy eyes and look at them, you know. If he had done it back then, right, back in the 70s, 80s and shit, I probably would have drawn a little swastika on my head. Why? I probably would have done the opposite one, the good one, right? But I would have put it on my head just to fuck with him, right? I did a lot of things growing up. He's a kook, but he's an original, and he don't back down from who he is. And he didn't do anything, right? Is that the fact that he didn't do anything? He just made others do it, right? So, yeah, his old jail interviews. What a kook. Yeah, but he was an original. He was definitely an original. One movie I haven't seen yet is that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? Quentin Tarantino, and I do want to see that, but I'm not going to pay for it. So I'm waiting for it to pop up streaming somewhere, and that's all. That's it. I'm just going to wait until it. You know what? A lot of people who were deemed crazy, fucking insane, had a lot of real insight into what's going on and what the world's all about. You know, just because they were a kook doesn't mean they weren't speaking some fucking truth, man. Right? That's bong hit, baby. Totally. In the darkness of Hollywood. Hollyweird, baby. About 1974. We lived in Hollyweird. I mean, right there in Hollywood, like walking distance to Sunset, walking distance to Hollywood Boulevard, walking distance to the Hollywood Bowl. We were right there on Franklin Street. Franklin and the one that goes straight up and turns and goes right into the 101. So we were there in Franklin at what we called the Franklin House. And it was a house that had been owned by a famous actor. And I can't remember who it was. It was one of those weird older actors. So he had this house built on Franklin, an old mansion house. And it had, in each room, in the closet, it had an area where you could walk into the closet, push the clothes aside, go behind the clothes, and step around a wall, right? So there was like 2 walls. So you'd look at the wall, and it would be a wall. But if you stepped in there, you could find that little passageway, right? And then there was a little staircase that would take you down to another bedroom, right? And that house was designed so that the owner of the house could creep from room to room and visit his guests, right? And that was creepy. That was creepy. And you got to think, what were those, his kids' rooms? Were those guest rooms? What were the rooms? You know, did he just peek? Did he invade? I mean, did he assault? What was going on, right? Weird fucking house. But the house, Franklin, and then there was this hill, and the house was built on the corner, right? So there's this hill that goes up, and then there's this little house built on the corner. So you drive up the hill and you get to the back driveway, which is above the backyard, right? And you got to walk down a staircase to get into the backyard because you're on a hill. Driveway's up here, upper driveway, and a little garage. So for a while, we had our motorhome parked up there in 1974, parked on this hill, in this driveway behind Franklin Avenue in Hollywood. And it was weird because Hollywood is a weird place. And it was even weirder back then, I guess, or maybe just as weird. I don't know. But we were living we were hippies, living in a motorhome in the driveway of somebody's house on Franklin, right? So whoever was living in that house at the time. And we got invited to the Easter egg hunt at some really wealthy people's mansion up at the top of Franklin, in this big giant yard with big giant lawns and stuff, right? And we're grubby little nasty, dirty, filthy little matted hair hippie kids out there, right? And they invited us. So my parents got us all spruced up and cleaned up for Easter Sunday, and we went up and we did this Easter egg hunt. I thought it was the weirdest fucking thing in the world, right? I probably got a couple of eggs. You know, you're running and there's a million kids. You're running around and you know, some kids are being helped by their parents, so the kids just got a big giant basket full of eggs running around, and the parents running around doing most of the work, right? And there are other little kids there just on their own, getting bulldozed by people. It was just ridiculous. It was weird, you know. Rich people trying to get as many eggs as possible. I mean, that's what was, you know, it's like, don't they have enough? Didn't they invite a bunch of kids here to do kid stuff, and now the adult wealthy people are out there trying to just get as many fucking eggs as they can? It's like, doesn't that say something about them? So I took my couple of eggs and whatever and went home, back to the motor home. That motor home. We lived in that thing for several years, and it was driven all over the western half of the United States, as far down as Mexico, as far up as Washington and Montana. Yeah, we were all over the place. Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that he passed away. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to see it. I've seen a couple of previews. I've seen a couple of scenes. Of course, you watch your videos and you're like, what the hell is this? Oh, it's a scene from that movie. Okay, and I was just like, I don't want to watch that. I'd rather watch the whole fucking movie. So, that's it. I need to check some of my free resources and see if I can find it. Holly Weird. We're going to Holly. My daughter, probably between now and December, but my daughter just recently purchased us tickets to the Wiltern Theater to see Motion City Soundtrack again, and that'll be cool. So hopefully I'll be available for that, or at the very least, she'll find someone someone her age that wants to go, and then say, would you mind if I went so and so instead? And I say, no, go ahead, please go, have fun. Not that I don't want to go with my daughter, but if she's going to go to a concert for stuff that she's into, I'd rather she goes with someone her age, right, that's into that. Yeah, I'm not into either of those two actors, but nor am I into Quentin Tarantino. So I'll probably watch it just for the sake of watching the movie and getting to see the history that's in the movie, because supposedly it's just loaded with a lot of Hollywood from the 1960s. Yeah, I'm going to heat up my coffee here real quick, and then maybe you can quiz me. Anyway, yesterday I was talking about the Civil War and didn't have a chance to display my cassettes, my Civil War series. So I'll be right back. Go ahead, I'll be right here. So pose me a question if you want. Give me something to talk about. So I just have to say real quick that it's hard to find a local supermarket anymore that does their own baking, right? That has their own bakery. And our local supermarkets, Stater Brothers, they do have their own bakeries and do bake their own stuff. So I've been eating a lot of their muffins. You get a 4-pack of muffins, really big, bodacious muffins. They're not over sweet. They're not, like artificially flavored. They've got real fruit and stuff in them. So I've been eating a specific kind, and I finally decided to try the peach. And I'll be damned if eating one of those muffins isn't like biting into a peach, right? I mean, it literally tastes like you're drinking some of that Simply Peach or biting into a nice ripe peach. It is just some beautiful stuff. Yeah, the Quentin Tarantino movies are great. Most of them are very violent, and therefore I can only watch them once. So I have to pick and choose which and when I'm going to watch. I don't necessarily... When I was younger, it was easier to do that stuff because you had longer to get it out of your head. But I may have said this before, I probably said this before, but I don't want to die with death and violence and destruction and shit in my head, right? I just don't. So I am trying to fill my head and my heart with as much good stuff as possible. So I will watch a scary movie, usually an older one that I've seen a million times. I'll watch some new stuff. I'll try to stay away from the hardcore violent stuff because I just don't need that in my psyche. I don't need violence in my life, right? Violence just begets violence. So I try really hard to avoid watching violent movies, and Quentin Tarantino movies are some of the most violent. They're good, they're fun, but they're very, very violent. I haven't watched the Western, the 3-hour, 4-hour fucking Western. I haven't watched that one yet, even though on Netflix they had it set up into parts so you could piecemeal it and not have to watch the whole big thing. And I couldn't even do that because it's obviously violent. There's obviously a lot of death and violence in it. So if that's your bag, I mean, I used to like that kind of stuff, but I just cannot see myself lying on my deathbed thinking about, somebody's head getting blown off in the movie that I watched last night, and then all of a sudden I get a heart attack for some reason, and I'm lying in bed, and the last movie I watch is something like that. I'd rather it be chitty chitty fucking bang bang. That's what I'd rather it be. If I'm going to watch a violent movie, I'd rather it be over the edge, and I'd rather it be a movie that I've seen a million times that isn't so much violence in my heart as it is memory of when I've seen it, right? So I'm a weird guy, I guess, but that's just how I'm trying to live my life. And violent movies for the sake of violence, it doesn't sit with me. Now, the Hollywood one does because, it's just about it's about Hollywood, right? It's got violence in it, of course, but you just have to. I know that I'm watching a movie. Anytime that I'm watching a movie not immersing myself in the story so much as I'm watching it to critique the movie. Yeah, I see this. It's too much blood, too much brain matter. They should have waited to kill this guy. They should have done it in a silhouette. It would have been more. It's like less is more, and I'm you're already screwed. Yeah, for me, less is more. I was watching finished watching JT, that movie we started watching last Monday. So I finished watching that, and they did kill the cat, but they did it in a way that you didn't see any of the violence, and most of what you saw was the expression on the kid's face that did it. The expression on the kid's face told the story, so they didn't have to show anything. They never had to show a cat. They never had to show anything, right? You never had to hear a sound. It was just done so well, right? And that's like Hitchcockian stuff, where you show little and you leave more to the imagination. And when your imagination fills in the blanks, it fills it in even scarier. And so, I'll watch a Quentin Tarantino movie once and critique it as I'm watching it, because if I try to watch it as a moviegoer, it's just, it just grosses me out with all of the violence, It's good, it's fun. I used to like to watch that kind of stuff. When I was in my early teens, we used to watch stuff like Faces of Death, and I can't even think about watching something like that now, You know, when I'm on my phone and I'm like going through checking my Facebook stuff to see who's talking shit, and I get to the part where the videos are, right? And you see little snippets of stuff, and I hate it when you get to those violent things, right? And they don't say, hey, this is warning, graphic content. They just all of a sudden you're watching something horrifically violent, right? And that's a turnoff for me. A lot of people are like, ooh, I gotta watch more. And they watch the whole thing, and they watch it over and over again. They show it to their friends, they share it, and I can't do that, right? I just cannot benefit emotionally off of somebody else's misfortune, you know. The Parent Trap with Haley Mills. I love that movie. No, totally, I love that. You know what's really cool is I just heard is that they're doing Freakier Friday, and they brought back What's-Her-Face and Jamie Lee Curtis to do that Freakier Friday together. So now it's a mother, daughter, granddaughter thing now, and it's supposed to be great. Oh yeah. The Civil War documentary is pretty violent, as are most of those Vietnam and World War II documentaries, or like the docu-series, mini-series that Spielberg and Hanks do. The Pacific and the Band of Brothers, extremely violent. And I can only watch those once. I can only watch those once in my life, and I watch it as a historian, not as somebody watching a documentary or a movie. I watch it as a historian, so I can, if I watch it that way, it's easier for me to block out that horrible content and concentrate on the history or the historical facts of what's going on, right? And I learned that by having to watch a lot of those kinds of movies, war movies, with my father. He was really into war movies. I don't know why. Because he fought in Vietnam, and he was like against violence and war stuff. And in his later years, he was like, nope, just like me. Nope, can't watch violent stuff. Don't want to do it. And I'm doing it for the sake of my own head. I'm just trying to save my soul the best way I can. And giving yourself over to that violence and letting it entertain you. I feel like that's just that's horrible. That's like going to watch the Christians be eaten by lions in the frickin' Colosseum. I think it's horrible entertainment. It's just our inner psyche, our id, sees it as real. We don't see it as real, but it does something to us, right? It gets into us. It changes us inside, and we become deadened to the pains and miseries of others. It's like those Marvel movies, you know. Some guy blasts a fucking building, 5,000-6,000 people die in a building and crush another 1,000 people on the ground, right? But it's okay because the superhero is going to save the day and kill that guy and make amends and all, whatever, you know. It's still, you're letting that stuff in, and it's changing you, and I can't do that anymore, you know. I cannot do that anymore. And thankfully my daughter's not into that heavy fake violent shit, you know. She's into more like really like animated stuff, if it's going to be violent, like video games, you know. And she'll play a video game, you know, but she's like the most non-violent person in the world. But she'll watch shows like House. She's watching House right now, The Doctor, because she's more into that kind of thing. You know what? I think it's because Quentin Tarantino grew up with a lot of that action stuff, those action movies. And then when you spend time working in a video store, that he did for like 10 years, working in a video store, all he did was watch fucking movies. All he did was study movies. And then spent that time going to film school as well. So it was like the perfect job for somebody in film school. All you do is go study film and then go to work and deal with films and talk films and then go home and watch films, right? So I imagine that he just fell in love with the old 70s style action films, drive-in action films, because that's what his stuff looks like. His stuff looks like, well, like that movie with Kurt Russell in the car. And he's an ex-stunt man, and he's chasing those broads. And that one girl from Australia who's a stunt girl. Yeah, it's just that's a great fucking movie. I can't remember that. Oh, deadly something death something death something, right? That's a great one, but I can only watch that one once, you know. And I don't need to watch those kinds of movies a lot of times because, kung fu martial arts movies, exactly. You only have to watch those things once because it stimulates you emotionally, so you make some connection, you remember it. And that's why I don't like Death Proof, that's it. I don't like to watch those kinds of movies because they do stimulate your emotions, so they cause a greater connection and create a better memory. And those are not the memories I want to have. Because they will block out other memories that were excellent memories that you want to hold on to, but the emotion is waned, right? So good memories can get pushed out of your fucking head with crap, just crap, right? And that's what I try to avoid. I want to take only good memories with me when I go. You know, that's it. It's it's just a simple little. It's a weird one of my weird quirks. You know, I had a friend that was staying here, and he kept wanting to watch these violent movies, and I kept trying to explain to him, dude, you know, I don't need to watch movies about guys in prison, okay? And he was like fixated with watching prison movies and death and just hardcore blood and guts and violence, just for the sake of blood and guts and violence. And I'm like, dude, there's no story, there's no plot. Yeah, but check this out. And it's like, no, look, you want to watch this shit? Watch this shit when I ain't fucking around. You know, don't wait for me to show up so that you can put on this gory fucking movie to show me. No. You know, and he's the same guy who would pick up his phone and start going through videos. As soon as he wakes up, videos, all day long. Facebook videos, all day. It's like, dude, get up and do something. Go get a fucking job. No. He was, you know, hey, dude, look, and that's like, dude, don't show me that shit. Do you see me on my phone? No. Do you see me swiping through videos going, hey, dude? No. I'm not even on fucking TV, man. I'm just sitting here fucking chilling out. I don't want that shit. And he'd be like, dude. Every other day, just couldn't figure it out. You know? Like I'm going to change overnight. Oh, gosh, now I really want to watch those. Every once in a while, I'll be like, yeah, okay. If you feel like I must watch this fucking video, all right, I watched it. I'm not entertained. You know? I didn't learn anything. What did you get out of it? You know, a warm feeling inside, giggles. Well, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand the fixation people have with their phones. I just don't get it. It's a neat device, all right? It's cool. It's got a lot of features. You can do a lot. It can take you to the other side of the world. Do people do that? No. You can communicate with anybody you want and learn anything you want and become the best human. Do people know? It's not possible in this life. No, it is. It is. Maybe it's harder in the U.S., right? But it is possible. It's, you know, how much time are you going to spend on that phone? It used to be the TV was the idiot box. Now you got the idiot device. You got your dumb phone. You got that thing in your hand 24/7. It's either your e-dicks, you're sucking on the e-dick, right? Or you're on your fucking phone doing something. And rarely are you talking to people anymore. It's texting, because you can text 20 people at a time. You can only have one conversation, but you can text 20 people at a time while you're scrolling through videos, posting crap, sharing crap. Yeah, let's party. I got 2 phones. One I use for apps. Mostly, it's as a monitor for my show. The other time I use this phone is to check social media and to watch streaming stuff like on Netflix, right? It's an older phone, so it doesn't have much room for shit. And my newer phone, which is a hand-me-down iPhone from my daughter, I haven't installed any apps. We reset it to factory, and all I use it for is a phone and the Google Earth thing, so I can maps, right? I use maps and text, and that's it. It's a phone, maps, text, and it's probably got a lot of other shit on there, but I don't need all that other shit, so I don't fucking use it. And I don't care to even investigate any of it. The USA is the most traumatic place to live in the world. Sure, unless you like lived in war-torn Bosnia, or you're living in Iraq right now, or you live in Gaza, then they would probably beg to differ. But yeah, the USA is very traumatic for Americans right now because Americans aren't equipped to deal with what's going on in the world, and so therefore they just look to their phones. They just ignore what's going on. They try not to they try not to worry about it. They just try to chant their chants and then go and hide somewhere and sit on their phone and post their nasty little posts, right? Yeah. Or India, exactly. So I think there's a lot worse places in the world right now, but there's no worse place in the world right now for Americans than America. Poor Americans got it really bad. The poor dumb Americans who are doing it to themselves, right? And have no balls collectively to get up and say, you know what? We're sick of your bullshit. We're done. We're done. Fuck this two-party shit. Just because there are too many people. Yeah, in this country, there's just too many fucking people. And I'm sorry to say, but it's you got that. It's that, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's that Bible Belt mentality where you have to just keep pushing out babies, right? And it's also that welfare mentality where you just got to keep pushing out babies to make that green, right? It's not too many families. I think half the families in America right now are just like anti-family. They're just couples. We got a lot of families going on right now in this country that are just couples that don't want to have kids, that don't want to give up their lives to some other entity right now. They want to wait. You were referring to India. I'm referring to the U.S. This is where I live. I don't know much about India, but I know about the U.S. And right now, we're just overpopulated everywhere on this fucking planet. And it's not okay because we're just raising a lot of ignorant people. Just fucking morons. Slack-jawed, mouth-breathing fucking morons. So they're easily manipulated, but that's what they want. That's what that's the powers that be want. They want slack-jawed mouth breathers who just go, yeah, I'll do whatever you say, yeah. Oh gosh, really? I'll do that. If you say that it's true, then I'll do it. Yeah. Poor stupid humans. Poor stupid humans. It's not just regional anymore, it's global. Everybody's got a fucking phone anymore. You go to the farthest fucking reaches of the globe in a fucking jungle somewhere where people are living in a dirt fucking hut, right? And killing monkeys to eat. And they got phones. And they're recording this shit. And they're posting it. Because this shit is fucking everywhere and they want everybody on the same fucking page. For some reason, they decided 25 years ago that everybody needed to get together on the same control regime. Everybody needs to be controlled. And so everybody is. They're controlled by their phone. It's separated up into factions that we call governments. But we're under the thumb of somebody, and all of those somebodies are under the thumb of somebody or something else, right? We're all beholden to somebody, right? Even the assholes in Washington right now aren't really in charge, right? They're really actually beholden to others, right? That's why you never had any kids, never bought into the lies. There you go. I don't think having kids is about anything other than having a family, reproducing, procreate. I think it should be anything more than that. But you need to put a collar on it, right? You need to not have so many fucking kids. That's it. We got one kid. Our plan was to have two. That was our plan, to have 2 kids, 1 for 1. 2 kids per couple. That's all it needs to be. If it's a 1 for 1 basis, I mean, unless we're recovering from a fucking cataclysm or something, which is why it was go forth and reproduce. That's, back then it was, we need to fill the planet with more people because we got nothing. We all keep dying. And we needed big families to take care of the family farm or the family business and stuff. And it's not like that anymore. We don't need big families. We've got enough people right now that if we just went for a 1 for 1 basis, we'd still have too many people. We need to stop producing people for about 5 years and bring the population way down, and then go on a 1 for 1 basis. 2 kids per couple. That's it. If you want more than that, then just fucking adopt. There's so many kids out there now, and there will always be kids to adopt because people are dying. Parents are dying. Parents are like, oh, fuck this, I don't want a kid. Adopt. Get rid of that kid. And also, let's train people to have kids right. Let's train people to raise kids and be intelligent themselves. Get them certified before they can have a fucking any kids of their own, let alone adopt. Don't adopt. You can't adopt first, and then learn with some second-rate kids. You gotta have your own kids. Once you've had 2 kids and everything is, you've been checked, these kids are happy and healthy and everything's going on and you're doing things right, then you can adopt. I don't know. I think I'd make a great leader because I'd rule with my head and my heart, and I wouldn't rule with my pocketbook. I think I'd be a good leader. And it would all be about choice too. I wouldn't dictate what people should do. I would definitely, it would be a choice, but it has to be an educated choice. And right now we have uneducated choosing going on out there. Yeah, well, in this country, because in this country there's, like I said, a lot of young married people who don't want to have kids. And we've always been trying to compete with population. We've always been trying to compete with the rest of the world, because the better your population is, the better your chance is for survival on the planet Earth. Like, the more kids you have in your family, the better chance you have for your family name to survive, because you've got accidents, you've got illness, you've got war, so you lose a lot of your kids, right? Back then. So it was good to have 12 kids in the house, have a Walton's fucking household. We don't need that anymore, right? We don't need that. We're smart enough to we should be beyond war. We should be way past, fighting each other for stupid shit, right? Killing each other. If society got its shit together, we wouldn't have drug addicts on the streets of Kensington. We wouldn't have people running around, Rodeo Drive ripping off fucking shops. We wouldn't have car thieves. We wouldn't have a lot of shit, because people wouldn't have the need, right? They wouldn't have the need. And society creates this need in others, and this need in humans to have shit that they don't fucking need. They don't need it, but there's this need. They feel like they gotta have it, It all started with the ad man. 150 years ago. selling us the idea that slaves were black and they just needed to be washed clean. They just need to be scrubbed good. You can wash them clean, right? So buy this soap because it'll even clean a negra, right? So ad men were selling us that shit way back then, and they're still selling us on shit. They're selling us crap that we just buy, and we might as well just take it from the store, put it in the cart, pay for it, take it, put it in the car, take it home, and drive it to the fucking landfill. Seriously. Just take it to the landfill. We worry more about producing mass amounts of garbage than we do food. Yeah, let's party. If the population was set at like 6 billion, that would be way too much. Way too much. Way too many people. So we set the population at some, and then we got a 1-for-1 basis going on. We always know how many people are in the country, right? We always know how to readjust for inflations of births and the reduction of humans, So we wouldn't even need a census because we'd always know. Things would be more balanced. Growing food would be a lot easier. If we only produced what we needed, and we produced stuff that lasted like we used to. 100 years ago, we produced stuff that's still working today. I mean, I'm surrounded by old stereos and gadgets and gizmos and stuff from, 50, 60 years ago that are still working. So if we went back while going forward, and we keep reaching back to get the best of the past to bring forward with us, we'd be better off. But we keep dismissing the past as, oh, that's old, we don't want that. But sometimes old is better. What's going on with electric vehicles right now sucks. All right? Because it takes so much crap to create an electric vehicle that it creates a huge fucking carbon footprint, bigger than a gas guzzler, right? And so why don't we take the best of the past and combine it with the best of the present and the future? And there's got to be a better way than what's going on right now. In World War II, there was this little motor generator that was called a mule, and it was I think that's what it was called. But it was this little tiny motor generator, right, that was built into like one of those half-track things, and it ran on anything. You could pour a bottle of booze into it, and it would run on that. It would run on pure alcohol. It would run on diesel. It would run on frickin' coconut oil. The thing would just run on anything. Kerosene, right? And I think if they took something like that and built that into an electric vehicle that had a better battery system than we're having now, because it's the batteries that are killing us, mining all the crap, and then the manufacturing of those batteries is killing us. If we could fix that problem and then use a little small combustion engine to charge that system along with solar, right? So you've got like a dual system going on. So it's kind of like a hybrid, but it's a hybrid with a motor that uses very, very little fuel, like drops, but it produces a lot of energy to charge your electric stuff. So you've got dual battery stuff going on. You're constantly charging a system while you're using a system, and the system you're using is also getting charged, right? Because we've got stuff like brake engaging chargers, and you could even put on wind scoops on your vehicles that now, as you're moving forward, your car is capturing wind and putting it through little feather-like filaments that are charging, right? because it doesn't take, if you do this on a little tiny solenoid that is producing electricity, all of that combined with a bunch of those little things, isn't it possible to then create energy that way as well? Right? I'm just a dumb guy sitting in here, and I could come up with 100 different ways to make the world a whole lot better than it is, you know? And why don't we have a better world? If I'm just one stupid guy, then why isn't the rest of the world, all those smart people out there, getting their shit together? Why? Because it's about the money. That's why people are still dying of cancer. Because treatments make more money than cures. Period. We're never going to get past that until we get past the money sons of bitches. And now the money sons of bitches are ruling the country. That's it. Our country has fallen victim to capitalism. Period. I'm not saying that, you know, not that I believe in communism or capitalism or any of that, but you know, in the sense that we've been taught. But capitalism has pretty much taken over this country in a bad way. You know, that whole free market thing, it's not really a free market anymore. It's not. It's a market that is dictated by those who have the power to dictate. That's it. And if you ain't got the power to dictate, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Last week's Video Time Machine had David Horowitz, Fight Back with David Horowitz, a consumer advocate, right? We can't do that anymore. We have no more consumer advocates that are going to win for us and champion for us and get things in major companies and corporations changed for the best to suit us, not the companies, right? That's not going to happen anymore. They don't do that anymore. And I finally found some David Horowitz so that I could remember what it was like when you had a guy that would fight for you. You know, that's what lawyers are supposed to be. And as far as I'm concerned, lawyers are the most useless thing on the fucking planet. Period. You know, lawyers are about as useful as a fucking hemorrhoid. And about as painful to fucking deal with. And located in the right area, you know. Yeah. Fucking assholes. I'm a little jaded. Just call me Jade. I'm the Jade Man. Yo, Jadester. Well, I've been talking about a million topics so far this morning. I don't even remember what I'm talking about. I just don't know. We've got a Green Hornet episode to listen to. So I'm going to put that on. And we're going to listen to that in the background. And this one is... it's on my channel, I think. It's on my channel. I'll have to make it... I've been doing a couple of these old-time radio show things in the morning that really... you know, have no place on my channel yet. So at some point, we're going to get them on my channel in a playlist. And I'm just going to put this on and put it in the background. And then let it play. Yeah. Totally, man. All right. Oh, Bette Midler. So that's the Rose. That's from yesterday. Totally. There's a TV guide for this week. Yesterday was Bette Midler, The Rose. It was a twofer, so I had the 8-track and a couple of LPs. Hey, you want an LP? Great movie. I love it. I love Bette Midler. She's funny. She's talented. I love her swing stuff. That was some great music. Totally. So there's the Bette Midler stuff there. Today's LP is Dark Side of the Moon, hence the Pink Floyd shirt. So Dark Side of the Moon. Everybody knows Dark Side of the Moon. Totally dark sidey. Totally. Totally dark side. Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon. This is one that I bought, and it's a double. Was the original a double? Not a double, yeah, double LP. Not a double LP, just a double open, right? I haven't opened it up, so it's still sealed up. I just opened it to get the LP and stuff out, but I haven't opened it up to check it out. Mainly because it's just safer that way, to keep it safe. But this is the one that's got some posters in it. It came with some posters. I had them hanging up on the wall back here for the longest time, but I decided to put them away. So, Dark Side of the Moon. This is my new copy. So, the remastered stuff released from Pink Floyd, the corporation. The corporate Floyd. Nix Roger Waters. He's not allowed to vote. He's a non-voting silent partner in Pink Floyd. I believe he's still there. Dark Side of the Poon. Really? Dark Side of the Poon? Are they talking about Poontang? But I guess he's still part of it. He doesn't have any say because he wants things differently than the rest of the band. So, and the rest of the band is, of course, what's his face? I guess they still talk. They don't really get along, but they still talk. And I heard that there is the works for a reunion of the band just for one tour, which I don't know that I could do that. I saw Roger Waters during his Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking tour, and that was great. They had a lot of guys on the stage. God, I think wasn't it Robbie Robertson or something was up there at one point. Eric Clapton was up there. It was a crazy tour. It's a crazy tour. And they did half of the concert was Pink Floyd stuff, and half of the concert was Roger Waters stuff. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful show at the Forum here in L.A., and they even had the plane coming in during the stuff they did. They did Wall stuff. They did Dark Side of the Moon stuff. They did early stuff. It was great. It was fucking great, man. I'll have to find the set list for that. Party time, baby. And let's do Dark Side of the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh goes evil. That reminds me of a book. I was thinking about the book Everything I Need to Know I've Learned in Kindergarten, which is a book I need to pick up. But it's, what was it called? The Tao of Pooh, right? And it talks about Taoism and Winnie the Pooh. There was a follow-up to that. Gosh, do I have those books somewhere? I know when my best friend from way back when finally had kids, like 10 years ago, I sent him some books. I sent him some DVDs of Pippi Longstocking, the original Pippi Longstocking, because both his kids, boy and girl, were both into it. They even both dressed as Pippi, which was awesome. So I sent him those, and I sent him Little House on the Prairie, the whole set, for his daughter to read when she got older. Both kids. So, and some Winnie the Pooh stuff. Yeah. Totally, man. we've had a few books from when my daughter was young that we gave to others because it was appropriate, you know. Sometimes I wish I had some of those books back and had only loaned them out. But one of them it was a big book with all of the Fun with Dick and Jane books put into one book, right? And I love that book. It was just so 60s, right? It was just so way back. And it always reminded me of that movie, Fun with Dick and Jane, with Jane Fonda and who was that? George Segal. That was a great movie. Great. I like that because it's shot in Hollywood and Los Angeles and a bunch of areas that I was familiar with. So that was cool. I dig that movie. I like old movies with familiar stuff in them. Yeah. Hear me now and think about me later. So one of the most fun trivia facts about the Green Hornet is that he was the great nephew, I believe, of the Lone Ranger. Dan Reed was the Lone Ranger, and then later on, a couple of generations later, Britt Reed was the Green Hornet. So there was a relationship there, the masks, the do-good stuff. The Black Beauty, which was a car, but it was also a horse, and it had horsepower, so it was really cool. Silver, Black Beauty, yeah, really cool. So there you go, fun fact. Lone Ranger and Green Hornet, same family. Kind of like the Phantom, right? Where it just keeps handing down the mask and the suit, and it keeps changing over generations, but it's the same family kind of passing on that line. Zorro, right? Pretty cool stuff, man. So what are we doing tomorrow? I don't know how long we're going on today. I don't know when my wife has to wake up. I don't know if she's going to her friends today or tomorrow. It varies. At 4 o'clock today, up the creek, Up in Smoke, and not Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. It is a film about the tobacco industry, so there's that. 4 o'clock film, Up in Smoke. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about K-Tel. We are going to talk about K-Tel 8-track tapes, and I'll bring my little carousel over and a box of tapes and a little stack, and we'll just kind of go through some K-Tels. I'll see if I can dig up a K-Tel album, because they did records and tapes. They weren't like Columbia House records and tapes. There wasn't like a club, but they had so many compilations that you could just fill your house with K-Tel and not have to buy, an album from one particular artist. Pickwick was a series that did music, and they used other artists to record music that was popular. So they would get an orchestra to record the works of, let's say hypothetically Simon and Garfunkel or something, right? The best of Simon and Garfunkel done by the, Luigi Fantastici Orchestra or something. Well, sure, buddy. I think I should probably pull out another bud. And pull out something else. This morning I did first some of those Sugar Rush. Now I'm just going to do some tarts. A little bit of tarts there. So we got a little bud here. Little bud. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for smoking. No, thank you, Mr. Raccavano. No. Thank you, Mr. Raccavano. What movie was that? And who are the actors? Huh? Songs of the 70s. Oh, dude, I got so much K-Tel. It's so cool. It's mostly on 8-track. My wife's like, you don't even have a player. And I said, I got lots of players. I just, 8-tracking is a job. It's not an adventure. It's a job, man. You got to really be diligent when you're playing 8 tracks. Anything could happen. So you can't just put on an 8-track and walk out of the room. You don't have to sit there and watch it, but you got to be near enough so that if something goes weird, you can get to it and stop it before it just shreds your tape. Happens a lot. So we're going to look at some 8 tracks. And then tomorrow's 4 o'clock film is more of the 4th of July stuff that we didn't get to put on the channel on the 4th, so we're still playing catch up. And then Friday, my most favorite day of the week, because I get to talk about me and hopefully stay on for hours and hours, we're going to talk about after-school special activities. And the 4 o'clock film is The Last Days of Living, and we visit a hospice-style place where people are dying, and we get to see and get interviews with people who are on their last days. It's like my part of my series on mortality. So there you go. Yeah. Coffee is getting cold. I am going to have to heat it up. I'll be right back. Pose me a question or something about, I don't know. Let's talk. Let's get a topic to talk about. I think the last box of 8 tracks I got was a big box, right? And it was just filled with 8 tracks, unopened, brand new 8 tracks from the 80s. And it was really obscure stuff, right? So I'm going to have to dig that out one morning, and we'll have to go through it and research the stuff on it, because it's just really obscure. Even some local stuff, local to Joshua Tree. So we'll have to check it out. Pardon me. I got a bong hit. Let's get down, let's get funky, let's do it. Well, there's just some great stuff there, buddy. Howdy, my name's Roy. You can call me Roy, but don't call me Roy. Okay, Roy. I told you not to call me Roy. Roy? Okay. No, really. Yeah. Britt Reed, The Green Hornet. So there's that movie, The Green Hornet, which I've seen, and I enjoy aspects of it, but it's got that doofus at the helm. And why do they have to have these stupid actors in the role of some of my favorite, yeah, ding, 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 ding. Why do they have to screw it up with putting in so many, it's like chips, right? Why did you first of all reverse the characters? So now, yeah, it just doesn't work for me. And then you put Dax Shepard in there as John. and make John the Paunch and Paunch the John. Stupid. Gautreau's a woman. Just stick to the fucking plot, man. Why you gotta fuck shit up? Why you gotta put in stupid people? Oh, Starsky and Hutch. There's another one. It's an okay movie. I love how they stick to the era, right? And same car, same guys, same character stuff. Ben Stiller just does a great fucking Starsky. And then what's his face is okay. But it's just an okay movie, right? But the best thing about it is that they stay in that era and they keep the characters very similar. You didn't know that movie? What was it? I don't know. What was I talking about? Starsky and Hutch. And then the Chips movie. It's just called Chips, and it's got Dax Shepard in it. And then, of course, Ben Stiller in the Starsky and Hutch movie. That one's better. I prefer to watch. I've seen that one a few times, and it's funny watching Ben Stiller do Starsky. What's his face doesn't do much with Hutch, but man, Ben Stiller just goes out of his way to nail Starsky. It's just beautiful. Roy. Yeah, that's my name. My name's Roy. But you can call me Roy. Just don't call me Roy. Just Roy. That's it. That's all there is, man. There's nothing else to see here. Move along. Move along, Roy. Roy. Roy Boy. They call me Roy Boy. Hi, my name's Roy Boy. I like to hang out at the Chartreuse Moose. Totally. Totally. And go. Something about Harry. Now, something about Mary. Ben Stiller. Another one that's Some Ben Stiller movies are okay. It's like most actors, when they get to like a diva status, I fall out of like with them. It's like, all right, move on. Go do your fancy drama and your heavy stuff or whatever, your super fucking hero movies or whatever. Go do that. You know. I was in love with Tom Hanks, Roy Boy, back in the 80s, right? And then, he did a couple of things in the 80s that were like, whatever. And then in the 90s, he didn't do much that I could appreciate. And he hasn't done really much since the 80s that I can really, really get into. Maybe a half a dozen movies out of everything that he's done since the 80s that I can... Zoolander, that was fun. You know what? That's when he started getting weird, right? He started taking it to an extreme, right? It's like, you can't say that about Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp started doing the extreme. He just went from 0 to 160. Boom. That's what Johnny Depp did. Boom. Boom. As soon as he got 21 Jump Street and got a little bit of fame and did that Ed Wood movie, as soon as he just fucking went, and he just never stopped. In every movie that he did after that, almost every movie, he just exploded into a new character, right? Whereas somebody like Zoolander, or somebody like one of these other guys who they're okay, and then they try to just do something extravagant, and it just kind of is weird, right? But then it creates this cult following because it's just so weird, right? Not that he was doing such a great job acting like see, I hate it when that happens. I have a thought here, and then I lead up to it and forget the thought as I'm leading up to it. Anybody else have that happen? Susie, does that happen to you? Good morning. To the extreme. You like to rock the mic like a vandal. Right on. That's awesome. I like that. Just beat it. Beat that microphone. Yeah. Hear me now and forget about me later. Totally. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep packing the bong here. I keep a-packing the bong, keep a-packing the bong. Yeah. That's raisin, not brain. Totally. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Hear me now. Forget about me doing the bong hit later. Cracked actor David Bowie. Oh. My tweezers. I have to use tweezers to pull out my glass screen from my bong from the alcohol to keep them clean. Here you go. Cracked actor. That's a good one. I think I got that on 8-track somewhere. Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla. Totally. Totally. Actors off the rails. You know, actors that are off the rails. Sidney Poitier, he's doing a lot of stuff lately. I mean, that movie, what is it? Look Who's Coming to Dinner. What a crazy movie. What a crazy movie. I think that's probably where they got the idea. What is that? Norman Lear got the idea for Archie Bunker. Spencer Tracy, you know, he did such a great part in that movie. Why the hell am I talking about Sidney Poitier? I haven't seen that movie in decades. Look Who's Coming to Dinner. Great movie. Great movie about a look into familial racism, right? And he had great pants too. Yes, David Bowie was he was a looker. You know, I'm not gay, but I wouldn't kick him out of bed, I'm telling you. The Scandalous Affair. That would be, huh? That would be a scandalous affair. Honey, who is this in our bed? Oh, honey, this is David Bowie. Come on in. Okay. Right? Dear Sir, that's another one. That's another good one. My wife watched a lot of In the Heat of the Night TV series, and I'm like, honey, look, here's the movie. She's like, what? I said, yeah, it's the movie. He did like 2 or 3 movies in that In the Heat of the Night series. He actually did more than one as that character, which is pretty cool. I like Sneakers. Sneakers is a good one, I think, from the 90s, right? That's a great one. Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd. It's got River Phoenix before we lost him. Yeah, that's a great one. It's a raisin, not bran. Totally. William Alone Pigsy lived near David Bowie in Bermuda. Pigsy. Lone Pigsy. Lone, not William Lone Pigsy, but William. Hey, William, did you know that? That's right. Now I get it. Okay. It's hard for me to read stuff and comprehend what's going on. They call me Mr. Tibbs. They call me Mr. Tidbits. That's what they call me, Mr. Tidbits. I won't show you my tidbits. My boobies. I won't show you my boobies. Because they're mine, damn it. But I can touch them. Because they're my boobies. Boobies. Alright, I'm going to read from the TV guide because it's 11:35. So I am going to read from the Bible of the Television from 1978. And today is Wednesday, so we are going to move on over to Wednesday. And let's see what's happening prime time Wednesday night. Let's see what's coming on tonight. July 19th, 1978 on a Wednesday. At 7, The Gong Show, Patty Andrews, Rex Reed, and J.P. Morgan. Woohoo! Crosswits, Vicki Lawrence, Gary Owens, Mitzi McCall, and Fred Trevelyan. Liars Club, Buddy Hackett, Michelle Lee, Dodie Goodman, and Larry Hovis. Well, there you go. Also at 7 o'clock, syndicated programs such as Mary Tyler Moore and Rookies. We're still actually looking at news at 7 with Chancellor Brinkley on NBC at 7. Wow. Love American Style also at 7. More Crosswits. At 7:30, more Gong Show. Closer Look is a look at San Quentin. Mary Tyler Moore again. Family Affair. Studio 18, actor mime Yancey Bukovic, director of the California Shakespeare Festival. A mime, huh? Okay, here's my favorite program at 7:30 here, Hollywood Squares. It's a great look at the kind of a cross section of what's going on. So we got Victor Borg, Diana Carroll, Mac Davis, Melissa Gilbert of Little House on the Prairie, so she's kind of young here. George Gobel, Paul Lynde, Carl Reiner, Joan Rivers, and Jimmy Walker. Wow. Between the Wars, political questions underlying the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. At 8 o'clock, prime time, Wednesday, July 19th, 1978. 8 is enough. Mary bids for a school board seat, and it's jeopardized when Tom, Dad, shows reluctance to endorse her. Wow, he won't even endorse his own daughter. What a dick. That guy was always a dick on that show. Every time I watched that show, I thought, this guy's a dick, right? Even when he came around, he was still a dick. What a dick. So at 8 also is Grizzly Adams, and I'd probably be watching that, because that's all I ever wanted to do was live in the mountains with an Indian named Nakoma and Mad Jack coming by. Hey, give me some whiskey, boy. And a bunch of animals, all those animals. I want raccoon friends. I want raccoon friends and squirrel friends, and you want Mrs. Beasley. You and your family affair. You and your family affair. Mrs. Beasley. Yeah, what a weird looking doll. That was a weird looking doll. Yeah, you went in that show when your career was in the crapper, or you had a program on television, which most of those people had programs on television at the time. Paul Lynde had the Paul Lynde Show, the variety show, right? Victor Borg, he was doing concerts all over the place. I don't know about Diane Carroll. Mac Davis was doing music. Carl Reiner, he was right in the middle of doing Spinal Tap, wasn't he? Joan Rivers, she was all over TV and stand-up. So I think these at this point they had a pretty good opportunity to say, hey, look at me, I'm still here and I've got stuff going on right now, or hey, buy my record, baby, watch my movie, look at my pubes. So Grizzly Adams, Person to Person, selected interviews. Humphrey Bogart and his wife Lauren Bacall talk about their professional and private lives in 1954 interview with Edward R. Murrow, and a 1958 segment featuring soprano Maria Callas. Well, that sounds good. I'd love to see that Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall interview. Wow, Bogey and Bacall. Okay, so Carol Burnett, and then Nova, the Green Machine, and Weekend of Foul Play, showcasing the movie Foul Play. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. And also on this show, include Goldie Hawn, Chevy Chase, but Henry Winkler, Ron Howard, Anson Williams, John Ritter, Billy Barty, Dudley Moore, Johnny Mathis, Christy and Jimmy McNichol, Joey Travolta, and the Spinners. Wow, what a program that is. And then Struggle for Israel documentary at 8:30. And it's been a problem there in Israel since after the war. They created Israel and just kind of separated everything and moved everything around and moved a bunch of people over, and it just, everything has been kind of in turmoil over there since. Not that it's been great before that, but it just never seems to get right over there, and I don't know why. You could just try liking each other. I know it's hard. You could just try to get along. Charlie's Angels at 9. With Dan O'Herlihy again. Dan O'Herlihy. Old guy. Played Grig on The Last Starfighter. Black Sheep Squadron also at 9. Yeah. Great performances. The Prince of Hamburg. I don't think so. Movie. Candice Bergen portrays T.R. Baskin in the 1971 film. Peter Boyle, James Caan. Interesting. More great performances. Testimony of Two Men. Yeah, that looks boring. Starsky and Hutch at 10. Huh, how appropriate. Policewoman as well. Let's see. Hutch investigates a college professor who may be taking a course on the philosophy of crime to be taking a course on the philosophy of crime too seriously. So somebody wants to be getting a little too much knowledge about crime. I wonder why. And then of course Policewoman. Back-to-back episodes of Love American Style, some Dick Cavett. It just takes us into the late-night crap. Let's see, Tom Snyder's Tomorrow. Reverend Robert Schuller. There you go. And New York Times columnist William Safire. So I wonder what that battle was like. And that takes us into Thursday. And there you go. Did Jonathan Winters do Hollywood Squares? Yes, a number of times he did. He was on there a number of times. He was, ooh, look, a bong hit. Party! He was on there a lot. There are all kinds of comedians on there, because that was like perfect for them to just blah, 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 blah. And you couldn't shut him up. And then everybody was always laughing. Right? Yeah. Good stuff. I love Jonathan Winters. Good old JW. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I would like you to sign the papers. Sign the papers, and I will let you go. I will let you go if you sign the papers. Good morning. Sign the papers. Have you signed the papers yet?
He was hilarious. I loved him. One of a kind. He kept doing shows and specials and guest appearances right up until he was old and decrepit. It was great. Here comes the sun, did-a-did-it. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's alright. I remember there was a morning program, morning talk show news that started with that song. I think it was like Good Morning or Mornings or something. I don't know. It was here in Los Angeles. I don't know if it was nationwide. I was too young to remember. I just remember in the mornings turning on the channel and that was on. Tim Conway. You couldn't get Tim Conway on, especially if there was anybody on there that he could have any bit of some kind of repertoire with. He'd just blow everybody out of the water. You know, the shows would go long. All right, I'm gonna take off for a second and go ask my wife if she needs to wake up. Hey, honey, wake up. Do you need to wake up? All right, go back to sleep. So I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. And let's get something to talk about. Hopefully she won't want to wake up and I can go long. So I'll be right back. Okay. He was crazy with that other comedian. They did drag Dorf on golf. Who? Flip Wilson? Oh, I got some Flip Wilson on. Geraldine? Flip Wilson doing Geraldine. Love that. Yeah, who are we talking about here? That other comedian. And they did... Oh, Harvey Korman. Yeah. Yeah, he and Harvey Korman were great together. And Harvey Korman could never keep a straight face when Tim Conway would start, you know. Just thinking about Tim Conway's face when he's doing the little skits, you know, or when he's talking about the elephants that they got their trunks stuck together and they couldn't go anymore. All they could do was go fnir, fnir, and the faces that he's making during it. And Harvey Korman is he's just dying. Fnir. Oh gosh, was he the voice of Papa Smurf? That's crazy. Yeah, Tim Conway Jr. actually had a talk show. He might still have a talk show in Los Angeles on Los Angeles radio, and it's probably syndicated. But Louis Anderson, there you go, Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson.
Yeah, that guy. He's another weird guy. He did drag, did drag and took over that one of those shows where trans something, and the guy that was on the show left, and they brought in Louis Anderson. And no, it was just somebody else they brought in, but Louis Anderson did do a female character once, dressed up in drag, and did a great yeah. Jonathan Winters. Who could? Nobody could do Jonathan Winters, right? There's nobody you could think of, I think, right now, who would be able. It would have to be a nobody who's been training drama and comedy forever, who would then be able to pull off a Jonathan Winters and do a movie. You would have to put somebody in a full costume, makeup and stuff as Jonathan Winters, or have somebody that could fit the bill but has, been working, and is a really good actor, just somebody who's unknown. Otherwise, you see somebody, a named actor, a celebrity, and then it just doesn't work for me. When you're doing a known character, you need an unknown actor to do it and pull it off. You really do. Unless you're going to put them in full face makeup, what is it? Hitchcock, right? And the movie Hitchcock. I'm like, are you kidding me? That guy's in the makeup, right? Shit. I don't remember who it was. It's so impossible. Baskets. Was that a movie? Jonathan Winters? I don't know. I just don't know, man. So the wife's sleeping in. So we're going long. I need a Nerf. Right? What I need is right underneath that camera, I need a basket to hold things, and then I need some balls, Nerf things here that I can throw at the camera, and they go right to the camera and then drop into the basket, and get used to doing that, because that'd be kind of cool. How about that 3D thing coming at you? Yeah, the Carol Burnett show was like the best showcase for all of that ensemble of just kooks, right? And then, of course, they each got their own shows, right? Harvey Korman had the Harvey Korman show, and Tim Conway had the Tim Conway show, and Vicki Lawrence, she was, you know, the night the lights went out in Georgia. She was a singer, right? She was an actress, a singer, just awesome chick, and she got pigeonholed into this comedy thing, really, and became Mama. And what, for like 10 years, on the Carol Burnett show, she was Mama, and then she moved from the Carol Burnett show into what, Mama's Family, and had that TV show, and that one was on forever. Ken Berry, I love Ken Berry, so it was good to see him on a show. Yeah, great stuff. This is great. It's good stuff. It's good TV watching. I like to watch the TV, and it's good stuff. I like to watch it. It makes me happy. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So who doesn't like Flip Wilson, right? Who was the first guy on TV to do drag, right? Somebody's there. I know James knows this. For sure. For sure and for certain. Alright. He also guest starred on Mom's Mabley. He also guest starred on Chips. The first man on television to wear a dress. And he was actually the father of television, really. So he was dubbed. He was. Who was that? Who was that man? A little bit of trivia for you. Speaking of trivia, I've got some trivia books, some informational books. So, if we were to ask, I don't know, I thought I had a book around here somewhere. Let me look. I got Who's Who in Jazz and the Lowdown on Musicians. Where's my trivia book? Where is it? Where's my book? Where's my trivia book? Well, it's got to be around. It's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be here. Aunt Esther, LaWanda Page. There you go. Well, where is it? It's just here. Is that it? No. Well, that's not it. There it is. There's my trivia book, the complete, unabridged, super trivia encyclopedia. Mouse. Ouch. Ooh. Boogie, 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 boogie. Okay. So let's go back. Little Orphan Annie, ageless, pupilless, eyeless little girl, created by Harold Gray. Debut in the Daily News, August 5th, 1924. Dog Sandy. And then I'm just looking for the M's here, because M.A. M.A. beat Ma and Pa Kettle, Ma Perkins, Macaroni, McDonald's, hamburger chain originally begun in 1948 in San Bernardino County by Maurice Mack and Richard Brother. McDonald's, the largest restaurant is on Guam. Wow. McDonald's Big Mac jingle: 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun. One version states on instead of and. Okay, so there you go. Mabel. I thought I was going to find Mabley. Mom's Mabley, but it's not in here. Poor Richard's Book of Quips. No, I have not. I have not seen that. And I like to quip. Boy, do I like to quip. Way before the time of these guys. Living Color with the... Well, I watched that too. But, totally. Yeah, I mean, I was watching that same era as well, but darned if my whole life I haven't been looking back as well. So it was Milton Berle who was the father of television. He had the first live program on. He did the first guy in a dress on there with lipstick and everything. He was out of this world. I'll try to find some early Milton Berle on TV and stick it into a time machine. Because that's good stuff right there, baby. Fly Girls, yeah, there we go. I saw Living Color, the group, in concert. I believe they opened for the Rolling Stones. I think it was Living Color, and then Guns N' Roses, who sucked, and then it was the Rolling Stones. What a mismatched concert that was. It was freaking hilarious, man. Yeah, Living Color was good. There was also that one. Oh, there was a show called Fridays, right? And there was another show that did some weird shit. It was another one of those weird skit shows. Somebody refresh my memory. 1850s, nice. Poor Richard. Poor Richard. Oh, poor Richard. Poor Richard. The poor lad. I think I'm going to spark up this bongski here, because I can do that. I can do it. You can do it, Duffy Moon.
You can do it, Duffy Moon.
I can do it, Duffy Moon.
Cult of Personality. Oh, yeah. That kid that was on the Platoon, the movie Platoon. No way. You got one of those too? I was a giraffe named Leecham, which was my name backwards, right? Is that what it was? Your name backwards, or your name in there? Yeah, they did the same thing for me when I was a little kid. I remember having that little book with my name in it, and it translated to Michael. You and an alley. I think it was me and a giraffe. Yeah, I was about this. I was about the same age. It was like 1973, 74, something like that. Yeah, I remember that. That was great. It's neat to find somebody that actually did the same thing. That's great that you mentioned that. Wow. Yeah, with me it was a giraffe. I remember we went to the post office to pick that up. Right? Oh, here's a neat story. At the post office there in Woodland Hills, California, way back when, there was this little street, the street outside the post office with this hill, right? This is a slight grade. And my father went to the post office with my brother and the dog, right? Okay, I'm sorry. This was years before this. They went to the post office in Sierra Madre, California, a few years before that. And my brother wasn't real old. Gypsy, our German Shepherd dog, jumped into the driver's seat of the car when my dad got out to go into the post office. And he's in the post office, and he looks out, and when our dog Gypsy had gotten into the front seat, she had kicked it out of gear, which was keeping it parked, right? There was no parking brakes. It was just in gear. She kicked it out of gear, and he looks out, and he sees the dog driving down the street in the car with my brother in the passenger seat. Just, like it's, this happens every day. And he had to run out of that fucking place and dive into the car and hit the brake. It was crazy. It's crazy stuff. But I remember living in Woodland Hills, and we were just happened to be living in a house at the time, motorhome parked outside, but we actually got to live in the house for a couple of months. And I got that book. I don't remember if it was a Christmas thing or a birthday thing. I think it was Christmas, because I remember my cousins being around and my grandmother being around, and that usually only happened around the holidays, rarely around our birthdays. So, Mad TV, that was it. And then what was that girl? She had that English girl. She had a show on too, and I won't try to remember her name, hoping that you guys will remember her name. But it was the show that started The Simpsons. The Simpsons was the commercial lead-in at the beginning and the end of the show, right? And it was little blurbs of the Simpsons, and they looked weird, and Homer had a weird face. They all had kind of weirdish faces because it was new. But what was that one? She was an English girl, and she did faces, and she would put on all kinds of makeup and become someone else, right? Who was that? Tell me who that was. That's it, baby. I never got into Howard Stern. I never did. I don't know why. Some of it was funny, I guess. I can't remember. Tracy Ullman, that's it. Thank you, William. Tracy Ullman. Yeah, that was a great show. She was out there. She was really out there. She would just do some bizarre shit. All of a sudden she'd be a guy, and she'd make you believe it, right? Yeah, or she'd be an American guy, and she'd make you believe it. She was just really, really good. She was really, really good. Holy, you still have your holy cow? Crap. I lost mine. I lost my holy cow. Yes, sir, I did. I surely did. Dang it. And I miss it. Because the cow I got now, man, it's one unholy cow, and I just cannot, I cannot for the life of me stand it. Totally. Well, look, it's after 7 and we're still here. We didn't pop. We didn't go poof. So we're just going to kind of hang out here until I hear the house start to wake up. song on the radio, They Don't Know About Us. Tracy Ullman, really? I did not know about that. I did not know. I did not know. I didn't know it. I tried to know it, but I just didn't. I wanted to know it. Sometimes it's just not here. That's why I have a trivia book, so I can look it up. Of course, this trivia book here is from 1977, so it's a little pre-80s by, you know, a while. So, but we still got some good information in here. Knights of the Round Table, right? Wow. And it's got all the lists of the Knights of the Round Table. Henchmen sat at a smaller table. King Arthur's retainers and henchmen who sat at a smaller round table with him were Sir Lancelot, Sir Galahad, Sir Gawain, Sir Percival, Sir Kay, Sir Tor, Sir Gareth, Sir Tristram, Sir Palomides, Sir Lamorak, Sir Modred, Sir Mark, Sir Accolon, or Accolon, Sir Bors, Sir Flol, and Sir Lionel. In comics, Prince Valiant becomes one of these knights. Prince Valium? What? Get out of here. Who's Nobby Walsh? Nobby Walsh. Anybody know who Nobby Walsh is? Amy Sedaris show. Who's Amy Sedaris? I don't know. In the your book, yeah, in the book, The Giraffe. I don't remember much about the story. I remember that either I was the giraffe or the giraffe had my name, but it was my name spelled backwards. And then we became friends, and I think it did go to school with me. I don't recall. I really don't recall. I just remember those few little tidbits. That's it. That's all. That's all. And anyway, Nobby Walsh was Joe Palooka's trainer and manager in the comic strip Joe Palooka. And of course, Joe Palooka, didn't we get Bazooka comics were somewhat like Joe Palooka? Was that the same thing? I don't know. I don't know. Kitty. Kitty. Oh, Kitty. Kitty. All right, there you go. It's my little book of trivia. Because I like to dabble in trivia. I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know a lot about one subject. I know a little about a lot of subjects, and that's it. I don't claim to be smart. I claim to be a smart ass. That's it. That's all. So dig it, baby. Can you dig it? Baby, can you dig it? I hope you don't mind me bouncing from topic to topic to topic, because that's kind of how my brain works in the morning on weed and coffee. But there you go. There you go. I just kind of go with the first thought that comes in my head, and it usually chases away other thoughts. Author David Sedaris' sister is a comic and had her own sketch comic. Oh, okay. I get Amy Sedaris. Okay, gotcha. I still don't know any of that. Probably during an era where I just wasn't paying attention to much, which has been much of my life, but like from 95 to about 10 years ago, I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't. I just kind of walked away from everything for 20 years. Didn't listen to the radio, didn't listen to music, didn't listen to anything on the radio at all. I just had it turned off, or would listen to old-time radio or something. I gave up on movies and TV. Just basically would watch DVDs a lot, and a lot of news. Got burned out on that too. But so I still don't watch a lot of new stuff. I take recommendations from people who say, this has happened in the last 30 years. Have you seen this? And I'm like, oh, no, I haven't. Let me check that out. Yeah, toke. Here's looking at you, kid. Here's bong sludge in your eye. Right. Totally. Oh, yeah. So, tomorrow is Thursday. And that means, of course, we're going to plug in the guitar again, I guess. I'm surprised that I forgot to pull out these Civil War cassettes yesterday. I just got so wrapped up in hanging out with Susie and talking and stuff, which happens most days when I just get so excited. But these Civil War VHS things are real important. In fact, only 3 of them are open. I got them with only 3 of them open, or 1, and then I opened up 2 to watch them, and then I found it in another source and decided to not open the rest of them. So it's got all the volumes and all the tapes and everything, and I've got several VHS players, so I can watch these if I so desire. Joe Palooka Joe. Palooka Joe's manager is that name. And I don't remember what it was, because that was minutes ago, and my brain don't remember stuff. My short term is shot. My long term is great. I can remember stuff 30 years ago as clear as day. But when you're talking short term, I got nothing. I got little bursts, and then every once in a while I could find my way back to something I was talking about. But that's it. Ain't much left up there. And I'm melting the rest of it away every morning with bong hits, coffee. What are you gonna do? Polak jokes. There you go. Does that what Palooka means? Is Palooka as a slang term for Polak? Because that would really be funny if that was true. Because that would be a fact that I didn't know. You big Polak, you big Palooka. I could see that. I could see that. Totally. I think there's some Polish in my history, in my past, in my bloodline somewhere. Oh, on my bong? No, it doesn't have bong sledge in it. I clean it out every morning with rock salt and alcohol. If it's like a plastic one, then I'll use Simple Green or something, because you can't use alcohol on it. But for this one, I just use rock salt and straight alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then rinse it out with hot water. It polishes up real nice. But oh yeah, I've been using bongs since I was a wee lad. Since back when it was one of these that I was using. It was a graphics bong. This was the bong of the era back then. Usually back then it had a carburetor. This one's got a slide, but back then it had a carburetor on the back here. But this is a real actual live graphics bong from the 1980s. And I got this one from Miss Princess or something. There's this great store on eBay that has this girl has all of this old school paraphernalia. I mean, a lot of great stuff, right? And let's see, what have I got in here? Here we go. Here's some paraphernalia that I got from one of those eBay stores, all right? And this right here is an actual real pack of zigzag papers. It was full when I got it. It was a full carton of papers from the 1970s, and you can tell it's the 1970s paper because it's the original unbleached stuff. And so I got a box of these because I wanted to have real papers to smoke joints, right? And vodka and ice. Yeah, I used to do that. I totally used to do that. We used to put booze in there. You were no media until YouTube in 2019. Wow. Wow. That's heavy. That's heavy. So yeah, so this is the actual thing that you could get, and it was set up here so that you could fold this thing and display it, right? Fold it back and stick it in there, and it was a display box to go up on the shelf for stores. So I love my little box. Every once in a while I send a pack of these papers to somebody in a little time capsule kit, and I'll put in like a sticker and a pack of papers, maybe a roach clip from the past, like a pair of hemostats, right? And you know what, I'm gonna go over here and grab something out of my junk drawer, which is what I'll do one day, is it will go through my junk drawer because it's all vintage crap.
Okay, so what I have here
Ooh, playing Magic. The Gathering. Ooh, that's cool, man. I dig that shit. That's awesome sauce. Okay, so here's my... here we go. I'm going to show you some items here that I procured from one of the local establishments who specialize in vintage stuff. So let me show you some of my vintage bumper stickers that I picked up. Alright, this is Life's a Beach, because it is, man, right? I'll give you a Bazooka Joe right upside the Bazooka Joe. Musician on board, right? And what's great about some of these is that they're actually aged. Exactly my sentiments. So there you go. Some of these are like a total throwback. No coffee, ran out of sugar. Oh, I hate that. I do creamer just because I can't stand sugar. So I do pre-sweetened crap. One of my favorite sentiments. This is one I should put on my car. A lot of these I got to put on my van because my van is like an old vintage looking, what you call it, van conversion. There you go. Slovak, totally, man. Yeah, here's another good one. Breaking, man. Breaking. Say what? I think I gotta deal with dogs. Hey, that's mine right there. That's mine. And if you look at some of these up close, you can see the date. 1989 is this one. There you go. This is true. My immediate family, that is. Ha 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 ha. This is 1988 on this one. My mate just left. My dog does this to me all the time. He'll just stare at something, and then I'll be like, "What are you looking at?" And I'll look over at what he's looking at, and I'll look back at him, and he's looking at me, going, "Haha." And there we go. From 1985. That's me, baby. That is me. Michiganders. There you go. Sarcasm and sharp sarcasm. That's great. I love it. Dagger, cup, wand, and pentacle. I assume we're talking about magic, right? Wow, 1910. You're not that old. Oh, that's what I figured. The oldest one of my possessions would have to be my electric guitar, my acoustic electric guitar from 1987. I think that and some family photos. But I think that's the extent of my old stuff, old stuff from 80s and then pre-80s. And a few items, some old tapes, some old records, that kind of stuff. Wow, that's heavy. That is heavy. Yeah, that's quite the hand-me-down right there. Sheesh, that's some history. A friend of mine, who is a musician, whose grandmother was a musician, owned a dobro guitar that she left for him, and he just finally was able to get it like 10 years ago when he grew up enough for them to give it to him, and they knew he wasn't going to sell it. So he finally got possession of it, and he's learning how to play it. And it's pretty good because it's a slide guitar, and it's got one of those, a resonator guitar with a metal circle in it, and it's high on the bridge, so it's meant for slide, and it's great. You got a mojo, man. Mojo. Mojo. Jomo. Anybody mess around with Ouija boards? Anybody? We did back in the in like 84. Yeah, because we didn't know nothing about that kind of shit. We thought, hey, let's mess with it. Somebody said, hey, we got a Ouija board today, let's mess with it. So late at night, we fucked with a Ouija board. And I don't know if we fucked with ourselves or it fucked with us, but we decided to take that thing that night. We literally took that thing out in the middle of nowhere and buried it. Because it just got too weird. And none of us would admit to any hokiness. And we all were kind of freaked out about it. But there was stuff coming on through there that, some people should not have known. And it was just as weird. It's just weird. So we got rid of that. Yeah, Ouija board is bad. Ouija bad. Bad Ouija. But it was like once in 1984. Or 84, I think it was 84, because my friend's brother had passed away, and yeah, it got weird. It was weird. Yep. Totally, man. Totally. So anywho, looks like we've been fiddling around with a lot of crap this morning, huh? We've been going to a lot of places, eh? I got another bong here, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to start thinking about wrapping it up for the day, because the house is starting to wake up, and I think I want to organize my records today. If there's nothing else going on today, I think I want to organize these records and get them to where I know what's going on, and I can put away the stack that's on the floor. Reassemble, which one? What are we talking about? Reassemble, no disassemble, not reassemble, but resemble. Yeah, resemble, reassemble. It all sounds the same in my head. I'm not hearing a difference. Sarcasm. Yeah, baby. Yeah, dude. Peace. You guys, I'm gonna be wrapping it up here soon, because I'm just excited about getting those records taken care of. Catch you later, James. It's been splendid. Look, I got a sip of coffee left. I will be here tomorrow morning, and if you're interested on how the tobacco industry was back in the 60s, check out Up in Smoke tonight at 4. Tomorrow we're going to talk K-Tel 8-tracks and LPs and stuff. Later, Gator. After a while, Crocodile. And, yeah. And another movie at 4. On Friday, after school special activities. What were the things that we used to do after school? Sometimes after school started before school was out. Yeah. Oh yeah, beer run. It's like noonish, almost noon there. So, gosh, you gotta get ready. So yeah, join me tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about 8-tracks. I'm gonna bring a shitload of 8-tracks over here, and we're gonna go, wow, man, those are awesome. I want one. And you too. Just join the Record and Tape Club. That's it. Most of the stuff I did not save from my childhood. I had a sparse childhood. Never got to save much. Stuff would get lost or given away or left behind or put into storage and never gotten again. So much of my past is gone. So I had to reconstruct my past with piles of crap. So we're going to go through some more piles of crap tomorrow. All right. Hey, that's good. All right. I am going to sign off here. You guys know what to do. Right? Yeah, baby. Do what is right. All right. Be kind. Spread peace and love. Not bullshit. Take care of each other. Do something for yourself out there, right? But do something for somebody else too. Why? Because you can, and it makes you feel good. Oh, jeez. I did it again. Makes you feel good. Makes somebody else feel good. Makes the world a better place, right? So just smile. Till next time. So, for no reason. I saw some shit move for no reason, I'll tell you. So yeah, just be cool. That's all it is. All you gotta do is be cool out there. Alright, until next time, people. I will see you on the flip-flop. There we go. So, you know what to do, right? I mean, I do this, All right, irregulars, the morning show irregulars, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I will talk to you again tomorrow morning. Send me a message anytime if you have any ideas about a show in the future, something to do, something you want to ask me about. Or if hey man, you got one of these? Show us one of those. And then I'll show you, and we'll talk about it. So there you go. All right, people, you take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Susie, James, William, Joey, miss you wherever you're at. And I'll see you then. Adios.